All right. I think that this conversation is long overdue, but I also think that like it's interesting because we're like the same person, really. I think that's part of like our relationship as coach and players. Like we have a very common demeanor. Do you think that like that's why our connection is what it is, or like how do you think the chemistry got to be what it is?
Yeah, for sure. I think whenever we first met, I think it was at, remember that high school gym we had to practice at? Like we just got here, and then Becky introduced us, and we just started to like talk a little bit, and then after that we just kept building a relationship. And I think it's just based off of, our personality, our demeanor. We kind of, like you said, we're like the same person, so we just really just vibe and have that connection on court.
For sure. I remember like when I first got hired, and coach was like, there's two people I want you to work with. 𝙪𝙖𝙢𝙘𝙘𝙖, like she has to be a great finisher in the paint, and Jackie Young, we need her to shoot threes. And I don't think it's that she can't shoot, she just won't take them. And so I started watching film and kind of putting a plan together in my head. And then I remember like our first time working together, it was just like we just clicked. And moving forward to today, I think that like all the time, like we spent hours and hours together in the off season, during the season, and I think each day like we become more and more comfortable with each other, and that translates on the court. So for you though, like obviously you've shown, even before our staff got here, like you've shown improvements each year. Where do you see yourself like going as a player? Like to me, when I look at you, I feel like the sky's literally the limit, and each year you've put something together that adds to your game. Is that kind of something that you saw yourself becoming in the W, or are you just kind of taking it year by year?
No, I think I just try to come back a better player each year. And so my first couple years, it was just like kind of expanding my mid-range game, just knocking that down consistently. I wasn't shooting threes. And then like once you guys got here, that's what changed, I would say, my career, honestly. You especially. And so just being able to shoot the three and honestly just taking the three, that was the biggest thing. Like I could be wide open and not shoot it.
Right.
And so everyone always says like, oh, she hasn't reached her potential. The sky's the limit. And I do believe that, and I think I have the work ethic for that. And I think having you here obviously has helped me a lot and has changed my game. And like I said, my career. And so, we put in work all the time, and
For sure.
I want to be the best basketball player I can be, the best person I can be on and off the court. And I think you really helped me with that. And so, yeah, we kind of just keep grinding every day.
For sure. I appreciate that. And I think it's mutual. Like, I feel like a lot of times you really only hear like what the coaches can do for players. But I think when you look at like our relationship and whatnot, I think there's a lot of times where players do just as much for coaches. And so you've helped my career as much as you say I've helped yours. So it's definitely beneficial on my end as well. There is a question I wanted to ask you though, like you won in high school, you won in college, won in the Olympics, won in the W. Like, is there a difference in what each feeling felt like when you've accomplished that?
I think, at the time, whenever you're in high school, your goal is to win a championship. So you get that feeling, like, wow, like I worked for this my whole high school career. And then it's like, okay, once you do that, it's like, now I want to win at the collegiate level. And I was able to do that. And you kind of still get that same rush and adrenaline, but I don't think anything beats winning in the W. Like, being world champs and getting to play with, some of our best friends. And so I think that really tops it all. That and the Olympics are like right there hand in hand because, you're playing with the best of the best. Like it can't get any higher than that, And so being able to win twice at this level and then win a gold medal and have the chance to do it again is just something that you can't really put into like words. It's like a feeling that, I don't know, like that you've never felt before. And it's kind of hard to explain because it's just something that you
dream about.
Yeah, you dream about and you don't necessarily like, it's not the same feeling every time, you know, like I'm telling you, whenever we're playing in these finals games, like I can't sleep. Like I'm like, wow, I don't think I've ever been this nervous before. And it's like, yeah, we did it 1 year, and then the next year it's like, wow, I'm still nervous again. So just having that same excitement to, you know, win all over again. So
yeah, no, I could tell, and it's hard, like when you've accomplished so much, like to continue to have that feeling of what it's like to be on top and to accomplish the ultimate goal in sports. And so I remember, you know, when you and Asia and Chelsea and KP got announced as Olympians, and I was like, I'm glad I wasn't in the gym, because I remember when I came, I saw you and I hugged you, and I was like, yeah, I got to go, because if I hug you any longer, I'm going to start crying, because I know how much you wanted it, and it takes a lot to get you emotional. And so that was a cool, not just for you, but for all of our, you know, all of our Olympians that we have. Like, that was a dope moment to see. So
yeah, for sure. No, just being able to have that experience, you know, with my teammates, but then I'm like, obviously emotional in there, but like, I didn't lose it all the way, you know? But like, when I saw Ty, I'm like, no.
Like, thug tears, it's
yeah. And so, I don't know, we just have that bond, you know? And that's somebody that like, I don't know, like I'm super like happy for him to see his success, and I know how much work that we've put in. And so like, just seeing us be able to accomplish things together is just something that definitely makes me emotional, almost emotional now, you know, just talking about it. And so
nah, it's cool, because like with Coach, you know, she trusts the bond that we have, and I don't think she thinks anything of it in terms of like, oh, there's special treatment to, you know, towards Jack. But as much as she yells at you on the court, she yells at me off the court. Why ain't Jack doing this? Why ain't Jack shoot this? Get your girl. What's she doing? So it's cool to have that dynamic with Coach too, and she understands the kind of communication, open communication that we have. And so, you know, things that she can't get through to you, she hopes that I'm able to, and vice versa. I love being here. I feel like I made a great decision, and, you know, it's only forward from here.
Yeah, no, we're glad you're here. Me especially. A little bit, you know, selfishly, but like, he changed my career. So how do you balance being a father and a husband with being a coach too? Because I know that I can call you at any time, tell you to pull up at the gym, you'll be here. Ask you to pull up at the gym, you'll be here, you know? And so, just how do you balance that?
Yeah, well, I think that first you have to have a great support system at home. And so my wife understands what the job entails, and it's long hours and unexpected hours at times. And so she's super supportive. She understands that, you know, there's going to be times where I wish I could be at home and just have to be at work. And so, but she certainly helps with that. And then obviously adding Jackson to the mix takes away even more time with, but it's just it's a continuing, you know, balancing act. It's just you prioritize what means the most to you, and for me that's family, that's my faith in basketball. And so you know, as long as those three things stay at the top of my priorities, like, you find the time to make what's important for you. So it's been great having him around and how he's embraced by you all. It's certainly a family like atmosphere here with the Aces, so that certainly makes that transition easier. And then also I think that like the more I'm around you guys, like being around y'all makes me a better husband, because you know, the conversations and communication I'm able to have with a team full of women, and then I gotta go home and attend to my own woman. And so the way I communicate with you guys certainly helps me communicate, you know, back at home too, and being in tune to, you know, everything that makes you guys happy, anything that stresses you out. Like, those are similar things that my wife goes through. And so if I'm able to tend to one, I can be able to tend to the other too. So I'm able to blend that as best I can. So this season's obviously been a little different from, you know, the last two, just in terms of, you know, we've always faced adversity the last 2 years, and this year came a little different with, you know, injuries to Chelsea and Candace retiring, you know. So it kind of forced people to be in different positions than they're used to. And for you, I think that you've been in a unique situation because, you know, you were a #1 pick, and so was Kelsey, so was Asia. And so coming into that situation and then growing up with those two in this organization, but then also now Chelsea's become a big part of who we are too. And with her being out, how have you found yourself, having to assume different roles for the team? And has that been like a place of a comfortable place for you, or something that's more out of the box and you've had to adjust to?
Yeah, I would say at first it was different for me. Having the ball in my hands as often as I did, and having to make decisions, call plays, kind of like get us set up, And so I wasn't used to that. Used to Chelsea doing that, and I just play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that was a big adjustment for me. Just trying to do whatever I could to help the team win, but also being more of a leader. And everyone knows I'm quiet, so trying to use my voice more, be a little bit more assertive, get A'ja the ball in the right spots at the right time.
Yeah.
And so it was a difficult role, but, I kind of just tried to do whatever I could to kind of fill that role with Chelsea being out. And so Chelsea helped me a lot during that time too. So I have to give her credit, because I'm always looking on the sidelines, looking at you, looking at Coach, like I want feedback, I want help, and so I think everyone just helped me during that time. And so, yeah, we were dealt a couple tough situations early, but I thought that we were able to just, come together as a team and kind of, just figure it out and work through it.
Like, again, the adversity just came in a different form and earlier than it had the last 2 years, but I think we've adjusted pretty good, and you've adjusted really well to that new role, and now Chelsea's back and makes things a little bit easier on everybody. But no, lastly, I think that, like, you are someone who, you said that you're quiet, and you are quiet, and I'm quiet too at times, but like, I think one of the hidden parts about you, like, you're really, really, really funny, and even when you don't mean to be. And like, I think some of that is, like me, you can become more comfortable with people the longer you're around them. But is, like, when you're, like, are you like the humorous one in your friend groups and in your family, or are you just like the same throughout?
No, I think, with just the people that I'm comfortable with, they see a different side. And so the outside world doesn't really see, like, I guess exactly like who I am, and so we spend a lot of time together, and we're always, just joking, having fun, sure. And it's not going to be like a loud comment, but it'll be something funny, like on the side, and like people will be dying. Okay, look over, like, what? Like, she did that today at practice. We're like, nothing.
Yeah, so. I think that's one of the funniest parts too, because we'll be in the middle of a timeout, we'll say something crazy to each other just to keep the mood light. So this long-anticipated, long-awaited Tyler and Jackie interview finally over with. It wasn't as bad as you thought, right?
No, it was cool, being able to sit down and, talk to you and just kind of let people know, like, what our relationship is like has been cool, and so I know a lot of people were looking forward to it, and so I hope we gave them what they wanted.
Agreed.